Hi everyone, comic book reviewer here. This time reviewing on Scooby-Doo in Arabian Nights. Now, as you know, Scooby-Doo in Arabian Nights was a 1994 made-for-television film, which was produced by Hanna-Barbera Cartoons and premiered on syndication on September the 3rd, 1994. And the best way I can sum up Scooby-Doo in Arabian Nights is obviously like a failed TV pilot that was and probably was intentionally going to have a Arabic Hanna-Barbera TV show that just didn't really get off the ground, telling these other Arabic tales of old Arabic stories, but focusing on other characters in their own kind of like, how can I say, kind of like an Arabic tale with Hanna-Barbera characters, like Quick Draw McGraw, also Mr. Jakins, Hippie the Lion, as well as Peter Potamus. And a lot of the time when pilots don't work, they either get shipped off as TV movies or just direct-to-video things. And the premise of the of the film is meant to follow Scooby and Shaggy, who, after getting job as royal food tasters for a young prince, we kind of see how after a mishap from their job, they end up kind of having to hide, as well as making the sort of young prince think they're one of the potential brides. And we see how Shaggy tells two tales, and throughout it, the first one is meant to be a more female version of Aladdin, with the character Alia Din being kind of like the female version of Aladdin, with Yogi as well as Boo Boo in the role of being the whole genie thing. And I think it's interesting to kind of hear Jennifer Hale voice the main character, because at first I didn't know it was her, so you get the sense she was trying to make her voice sound a little more Arabic and foreign, which I think wasn't a bad choice to cast Jennifer Hale, and I can kind of get the sense she had to try and sound a little more figuring things out for herself. And the second story is also meant to have Sinbad the Sailor, who obviously is meant to have the Hanna-Barbera character Magilla Gorilla, who obviously gets tricked by this really shady but kind of crooked pirate captain making him think that he's on a cruise ship, and making him believe that they're on this kind of big epic kind of scavenger hunt. And obviously the final is meant to kind of have them getting promoted. I mean, Shaggy and Scooby getting promoted to royal storytellers as well as food tasters. And I think the whole point of this was meant to be a bit of a TV pilot that would have Shaggy and Scooby telling these Arabic tales, but having it with different characters and different stories, like Secret Squirrel, also, Lobby D-Loop, as well as Hunky Wolf. But I think at the same time, I think it's better that they didn't try this approach, because I think after Yo Yogi, it was quite clear that Hanna-Barbera were facing a really uncertain future for themselves and the company. And it's kind of interesting to hear, I think, Don Mesquite as well as Alan Melvin being in their final voice roles, and kind of having Don Mesquite saying Scooby-Doo one last time, not only as himself, but also as the character he originally voiced. Because, Don Mesquite had been in so many stuff that he's kind of was that iconic role, from Ratchet in Transformers, also Papa Smurf in the Smurfs, as well as being in the Tom and Jerry Show as Mumbly, but also being in the 1977 film The Hobbit in other kind of film-like roles. And I think, in my opinion, I think Scooby-Doo in Arabian Nights isn't a bad idea, but it's clear this was done as a TV pilot to try and obviously get another Scooby-Doo like show or a Hanna-Barbera show to tell these other Arabic tales. So I think this one definitely deserves thumbs in the middle. Kind of alright, but kind of okay. So, comic book reviewer here, signing out.